the title of this talk is Love, Sex, and Innovation. And I guess that's kind of cheeky in some ways, because I'm not going to do anything about sex, so don't worry. But it came out of a discussion at dinner when somebody said to me, what makes a great business? And I kind of flippantly said, well, love, sex, and innovation. And they challenged that. And they said, hang on, you're supposed to know something about this stuff. What are you talking about? What about the markets you're in, or how well you're capitalized, or the types of products that you've got? And what I said to him was, well, it's kind of like the game, where you've got to throw 6 to just get in the game. And those things are the things you have to have just to be in business. Just to have a good business, you have to have all those things right. But to have a great business, I think you need something a little more, and I think you need some of the kind of intangibles, this idea about stuff that you're thinking about all the time, that's shaping the way you make your decisions, that's shaping the way you feel about your business, and other people do. And that's quite systemic, that these ideas about love, sex, and innovation actually relate to each other and have to be kind of in a balance. So I thought I'd talk to you a little bit about that tonight and see if I can get away with it with you, because I did it at the dinner party. So let's start with love. That's always my favorite. Love. When I say love, it's not just affection I'm talking about, but it is this deep, passionate enthusiasm that people have for the things they do. It's the kind of thing that when you've got a business where you go to bed at night thinking about what you're doing and how much you enjoy it. You wake up in the morning thinking about, I got 10 ideas for something I'm going to do today. It's that sort of absolute fascination. It's like the passion a great musician has, who's always thinking about, can I do that just a little better? Can I make that just a little more exciting? That's the sort of thing, when I talk about love. And it manifests itself in different ways. Now, what I'd like to do is, in each one of these, I'd like to tell you a little story from my experience, just give you an idea of kind of how that's been real for me. So go back some time ago, and my colleague, who was actually working with me at that time, is here tonight, and she'll remember when I ran a business developing corporate universities for companies, and we had a contract, a very large contract with some companies in the Midlands, and we were developing this corporate learning environment for them, and I was in love with this contract. I was having a great time, because it was about strategy, and it was about improving these companies, and it was about doing all these wonderful things, setting up new systems of learning and all that, and I thought it was great. However, oddly enough, the people I worked with were somewhat less engaged. And I was finding this a struggle. Well, why? What was this about? Why weren't they feeling as enthusiastic as me? Why was I getting a few grumbles here and there? Why were maybe they weren't doing as much as maybe I thought they should? And I didn't get it. I just thought maybe, I don't know, maybe there's something wrong with them. But clearly I wasn't paying attention to what was going on. And it all came to a head on a telephone call, believe it or not. It wasn't a telephone call I got. It was a telephone call that one of my colleagues got. And the call was like this. A lady on the end of the phone said, "Hello, Duck. Are you the bloke that's been teaching my Malcolm about internet?" And, my colleague said, well, it's not me, but somebody I work with. Can I help you? Is there some problem? And she said to him, oh, well, what I'd really like is for you to pass on a message to the bloke that's been doing that. And he said, okay, I'll do that, of course. And the message was this. I just wanted to say thank you for making a new man out of my husband. He was terrified of computer and wouldn't go near it. Now he's on it all the time with the kids. They're doing shopping, they're playing games. You just wouldn't believe it. And she said, you changed his life. So, my colleague put the phone down, and he came in to see me. And he said, I just had this amazing phone call. And I said, well, that's really impressive. That's great. We should call the other fellow up who did it and let him know. And maybe you should tell everybody at the ComCell tomorrow. We have a group meeting in the morning. You should let people know. So he did. He told the story the next day. And I saw a real physical change in the people who heard the story. their faces brightened up. They were really engaged. They were laughing. First of all, it was funny, but then I could see they were quite motivated by that. And I realized that I had missed the point with my own team. They weren't interested in big corporate strategy, the things that I like. They were interested in training people. They were interested in getting a result. They were interested in that emotional buzz you get when somebody says, "You've made a difference to me." And I realized that I had missed the point completely with them. I had to change the way I was working with them, the things we were doing, so that they would continue to be motivated. And it wasn't that hard to do, but it made a huge difference to the team. And I learned from that. It wasn't enough just for me to love what I was doing. I had to think about what the emotional motivators were for the people who were working with me. And I had to be able to help them find that same enthusiasm that I had. So it's about pushing hot buttons. It's about actually knowing what you want, what other people want, and where you can, being able to do that, to deliver that. So with love, often comes sex, if you're lucky. Well, in this case, I'm not talking about gender or sexuality. Really, I've kind of stretched the term here. What I'm really talking about is that kind of emotional attraction that's kind of irrational. Yeah, where you're attracted to something or an item. It's a kind of instinctive appeal. You don't know why this appeals to you, but it's just sexy. You know, wow, I'd like that. I want one of those. And case in point for this is a product. Okay, 2002, I bought a Sony PC, which was a touchscreen tablet. It flipped round, and you had it as a tablet, you had a keyboard on it, it took every input going, it ran Windows, it was fantastic. It was a great little machine, and you could carry it around, use it as a tablet. I don't think they sold any others. I think I had the only one. It was a massive flop. Yeah? I loved mine, but nobody else did. Shoot forward, current day, what do you got on the market? You got the iPad. It's a tablet. It's got a proprietary operating system on it. So you have to go through, Apple's rules to get stuff on it and use it. It doesn't have quite a lot that a PC does. Yet if you say to people, "What do you think of your iPad?" "I love it." "Why do you love it?" "Oh, it does everything I want." Really? Does it? Well, it does. Because to them, and to most people who have them, if anybody's got one in the room and would like to verify this, it's sexy. It's fun. It's enjoyable. They like the look of it. They like the graphics. They like the feel of it. They like the surprise of a new app. It's a sexy product. In fact, I always talk about it as the kind of Marilyn Monroe of the IT sector. It is something that just exudes sex and excitement to those who use it. But really, when you work it out, it's not quite as good as my old Sony tablet. It doesn't do as much, it doesn't store as much, it's not as easy to use. But it's sexy.